Hey, hi, hello. I hope that you're doing well. I am doing today's recording because I received a package yesterday, and when I started to open it, I knew exactly what it was, or at least I think I know what it is. I wanted to share it with you because part of why I received this is because of you. And so I wanted to share it with you, and I hope that you are as excited about it as I am. I think that this box, it came from SCI and has my name on it. And of course, it's a fancy box. So I think that it is the President's Award that I had talked to you all about, or I guess I didn't talk to you about it. I shared it on social media and I don't know where all I've shared it, but today I want to share my unboxing of it with you because, as I said, this is because of you. I think it's my President's Award. I also received a regional representative award. And so I received that first. So maybe that's what this is. I'm not sure. I think it might be the President's Award because an SCI chapter in Texas actually invited me down to their event and they wanted me to come down as a regional representative and help with their event. And I'm always willing, like, okay, let's go. And if you have followed the Mac Outdoors podcast, you might know that I have a little bit going on in my life right now. And so I've been super busy, and usually I don't let that slow me down. But right now, I don't know why. I just felt like I need to slow down a little bit and I need to ground. And why I say I need to ground, and I'm gonna give you a little backstory before I open this with you. But I feel like I need to ground because we actually just moved from one ranch house to another ranch house. And so my home base is upside down right now. I've got my backdrop going in my office, and I actually had both sides going in my office until yesterday. I had an interview with the Wild Initiative podcast, and I was looking for my microphone, and I had to go through all my boxes. And so now I have boxes everywhere again, piles of stuff, and I can't find my microphone. And, anyways, I'm trying to get settled in my new space, and it's been a challenge because I've been traveling. I've been to DC, I've been back, I've been to Grand Junction, I've been back, and we've got irrigation that we're doing. We've got cows that are calving. We've got all this stuff. I've been working rodeos for my daughter because she's an official photographer for a local rodeo, and she's had a hard time finding somebody to work her booth. So mom, here I go. And I figured working her booth wouldn't be a big deal because I can sit at the booth and I can write my articles. By the way, I had a deadline that was there and I've been working on this article for a couple months, but the deadline comes and it's like, okay, we got to get this finalized, settled, get images for articles and so forth. And I figured I could do it at the rodeo, but guess what? She is so busy that I didn't have downtime at the rodeo. So there's all this stuff, and that's just a little tidbit of the stuff. But I'm trying to reset. And so I didn't go to this event in Texas. And then lo and behold, what it was is they wanted to present me with my SCI Presidency Award or the Regional Rep Award at that event. And so I feel really bad because I told them I just can't swing it. I've got too much going on. I can't get people to cover for me on this other stuff. I have another article that there's a deadline, and these deadlines, don't get me wrong, I love writing and I love that I have these jobs. And so deadlines are good things to me. And if I don't have a deadline, I don't get stuff done. Tell me about that. Do you have that problem? Like, I need you to tell me when you want something done so I can get it done. Otherwise, I have so many other things that it's going to get put in the back burner. And, anyways, I digress. Let me take a sip of my coffee. And should we put a drum wall on this? Open that pretty box. Okay, inside it has this little foam. There's a little something on that foam. But inside, it is definitely an award, which I had no doubt. But oh my gosh, it is the SCI President's Award. As I said, I really wanted to share this with you because it says, in recognition of her hard work and dedication to SCI and its mission of protecting the freedom to hunt. And I'm kind of getting teary over this because I do all of this for you. And it's not for me. I do this for you, for your children, for your freedoms, for your families, because I want everybody to have that freedom for a long time. I don't want these freedoms to go away. And it's a full-time job protecting our freedoms, and not just hunting, but our right to carry, our right to bear arms. It's written into our Constitution, but it's getting taken away. And so this really means a lot to me to receive this recognition. And I do it for you. I thank you all for encouraging me all the time, because you do. You follow me and you encourage me and you help me keep going when times are rough, like right now. And I should have brought tissues into my office, but I don't have a tissue box in my office yet. But, anyways, this is super special. It is a really cool recognition. I'm kind of glad I didn't receive it in person because, oh my God, I probably would have had a meltdown in front of a whole big crowd. But wow, it's super cool. I've received a couple of awards in the past year, and to me, it's encouragement to keep going. And it means that I'm doing things that are making a difference, and that feels great. It really is super cool. And I hope that some of what I do would encourage you to do more, and for you to reach out to your senators, to your congressmen, to your county commissioners, to people in your community and your representatives, and let them know that you want your freedoms. I hope that you can make a difference. And doing these things, it is hard work. I'm not going to say that it's not. It's work that I enjoy. And so when you love what you do, then it's not necessarily work. So I hope that my sharing this with you today would give you a bit of inspiration and encouragement. And I want to thank SCI for the recognition. I want to thank SCI for what they do, because I've talked to a few different people about SCI and what they do. And SCI isn't about going on a hunt. SCI is about teaching about hunting. And yes, there is hunting involved, but SCI is about conservation. It's about habitat. It's about teaching the next generation. It's about reaching out to our communities. And part of why I joined SCI, and actually 100% of why I joined SCI, is because of what they are doing legislatively at our capitals and the nation's capital and in our states. They are protecting our freedoms and our right to hunt. And I don't know if it's a right to hunt, but it's our right to go find food, and we all hunt for different reasons. I'd like to know what your reason is for hunting. If you can tell me about that, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear your story about how you got started and so forth. But I joined SCI on a national level because of their protection of our freedoms to hunt. That's also why I joined the NRA. I didn't join the NRA to be like, oh, hey, I'm a gun owner. I joined the NRA because I saw attacks a couple decades ago on our freedom to bear arms. And that actually isn't just our freedom, that's our right. We have a right to defend ourselves. But that's why I joined those two organizations. And SCI, I've kind of gone further because I went to a chapter event and I learned that it's not just about a fundraising banquet. SCI, the chapters are doing things in our local communities. Check it out in your area, find an SCI chapter and see what they're doing in your community. The chapter I originally joined is the Four Corners chapter, and I'm also a member of their board of directors. I'm looking for other members on that board so I can step down, because I'm also the state representative, the regional representative for the state of Colorado for SCI. So I have a lot on my plate. It'd be helpful if other people would step in, join, and volunteer and help on these. The Four Corners chapter, they donated to the NRA YHEC program that my daughter was a part of several years ago. And Okay, so I started helping. They also help in the community. They've helped with building a local library because that is helpful to the community. They have donated to FFA programs, to 4-H programs, to shooting sports programs. They've also donated to veterans programs. The Denver chapter and the Colorado chapter of SCI in my state, they have educational outreach for teachers. You can go to an American Wilderness Leadership School up in Jackson, Wyoming. The teachers get continuing education credits and they learn about conservation, habitat, ecosystems, and other things like that. They also produce events, sporting clays events that are fundraisers to feed the hungry. The Denver and Colorado chapters have wild game feeds and they feed hungry. So there are a lot of things going on. Check in with your local chapters and other conservation organizations. I'm just telling you about these two because I received an SCI award and I am certainly like honored, blessed, and humbled that I'm receiving this. And I hope that it will encourage you to get involved in your area, in your communities, not just with SCI, but with other organizations. Find the ones that speak to your heart. I'm telling you why SCI right now, but I'm a member of dozens of other organizations. These are just some that I volunteer for SCI a lot. And I hope that it encourages you. I hope that you are fighting for your freedoms and for the things that you love. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Thank you. Thank you for your encouragement and for your support. I really appreciate it. Now, to find out where on my shelves, actually, my wall that I'm looking at, I'll show it to you in another episode, another video on another day. But I have my bookshelves over here. I got rid of my huge bookshelf because my new office is smaller, but my bookshelf over there has some of my other awards. And so after I get everything completely unpacked and set up, I will use that as a backdrop someday. Have a great one.